We gotta go on though. Yeah, alright. New episode, JTO, back at you in your face.
Yeah.
Under quarantine, another week.
Face masks on forever.
Yeah, now there's like, did you hear at one point where they were like, yo, the face mask, or it's worse to wear the face mask because it like holds in the germs or whatever? Did you hear that? Yeah, and then
sure.
like that changed like 2 days ago, where they're just like, nah, you should wear the face mask. I saw like this post on Reddit showing like when you talk, you talking just regular with and then with a mask on, like and showing like shit's like flying from your face, and it flies out like, I don't know, like 2 feet out just from just spurting stuff. And then with the mask, it's not. So I was like, all right, that convinced me because that was disgusting to watch.
Yeah, I feel like we're, especially in the States right now, we've been getting into this weird vibe of we're gonna do whatever makes people feel like nothing's happening. Like, oh, y'all want to just wear masks? Because masks, yeah, that's great. Trump said, forget it. You want to wear scarves if it's thick.
Yeah, dude, actually, I watched. Oh, and we're gonna do the intro for sure. But this time, but like, I did see. I just saw this morning. It was the Attorney General. He did a fucking video showing how to make a mask, a makeshift mask out of like mini towels, shirts, stuff like running home. He's like literally at a table, folding it, put 2 rubber bands on, and put it on your face. I was like, this is weird, man. Like,
Yeah.
but we're gonna keep it a little lighter this week.
Yeah. Tiger King.
Yeah. Well, first off, welcome back to JTO. Did we say all that?
We did. We kind of started.
Oh yeah, we kind of started.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm Jerry.
I'm Marcus.
And alright.
We haven't been introing consistently.
No, not like at all. Like 4 weeks. We start talking and then talk gets crazy and it's just like, okay, I don't even know how much you know who I am.
You did a sharp right.
Don't find me. Don't at me. I don't want to hear it. It's not going to go well. I'm not prepared to have the conversation.
Oh, I'm making the video for you, but I hope you never know who I am.
Yeah, for real.
Hashtag mystery.
For sure. But yeah, Tiger King. We both recently saw it, and yeah, that shit was nuts.
How did you feel? Your favorite character was Joe Exotic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's Rockstar.
Who rubbed you the wrong way the most?
Come on.
Because they all were like pieces of shit. And it was like developed on from the beginning when they're like, you monkey, people that love monkeys, they're kind of weird, but people that love the tigers are the backstabbing pieces of shit. And that really plays itself out. Who did you feel like was the worst guy?
The worst was definitely. Do you remember all the names?
Yeah.
Okay, because I do not. Old girl down in Florida, Tiger Sanctuary.
Carol Bass.
She was awful, just as a person. Like, because the problem is everybody, all the sides love tigers. You know, at some point at least. By the end, things change, at least for Joe Exotic, where he still loved tigers for sure, but he just evolved down this whole path. Like he's literally drove crazy.
Fame.
Not the fame, just like people were coming at him. Carol basically, and that was having real life effects on his pockets. Like early on, she took like the road gigs away from him. Those were like you saying 10, 50,000 a pop. Like, and they were showing all the points on the map. I was like, okay, she took some stacks. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot. That's a lot of payment for the workers. It's a lot of tiger food. You know, it's a lot of upkeep on the property. It's a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? So she's taking comfort out of it. And like, for them to live on the tiger sanctuary. So it's just like you're doing the same thing, no? Like I didn't see how that was ever made different.
Yeah, hers was honestly worse in my opinion.
No, it was way worse. It was like the worst quality of them, but like her whole thing was protesting that people shouldn't be able to have tigers. As she wakes up to tigers, like in the worst, like with people. It was the weirdest thing. I'm like, how is no one? How is he the only one going after her? Like, because like collectively they should have shit on her. Like it should have been like
a gang.
it should have. It really should have been like and I know the dude in Myrtle Beach who was kind of like he seemed like more or less like Godfather of like how a lot of the other people got into it. Like Joe got into it through him.
Bob Antler.
Bob?
Bhagavan Antler.
Bhagavan.
Yeah.
That's a real
name. It was
name.
like Bhagavan.
Bhagavan.
It was supposed
See,
to.
if your name's Bhagavan, you gotta have a tiger. He just lived out his destiny. You gotta respect someone living out his truth.
Got to.
Bhagavan. Yeah, you gotta have a tiger.
He had a hard name.
Yeah, that's hard. I didn't even really set in that was his name the entire time. I would have put like a lot more respect on him every time he came on the screen.
Dude, they twisted though.
Yeah, but he never really got involved. I feel like in the whole. Well, they put shit on him, but like he didn't get in the mix.
Yeah, but I feel like he couldn't get in the mix because
no.
he get brought up on more than just the animals. Like, hey, you taking women, young women.
No, see, actually, I watched. He did an interview with Andrew Schultz, actually, like just like this week or last week, and he explained that he was like, "Yo, these weren't just the women," because he never said they never said who they were in the documentary. They just kind of inferred with that. He's like, "These are just like my nieces and shit. Like, this is like it's just his family working there." So it was. They made it nefarious where it wasn't really a thing. They were saying like there was a lot of liberties taken with some of the storytelling. But there are some facts presented, but then some stuff that's just like inferred, which wasn't necessarily true, just adding to the drama. It seemed like there was some love and hip hop luxuries taken as far as editing. You know what I'm saying?
It definitely was in terms of the way they told the story.
Yeah, because there was always like a bias even against really everyone involved. Like even the lens of the documentary was kind of through owning these tigers are bad. And even the person that's saying the same thing is batshit crazy and she owns a tiger. So it's like, it's kind of like you can't help but get corrupted by it almost. Like that's kind of what the lens of the story was through. And then the people were crazy enough to fill out the rest. But this made me wonder, because this was all pretty recent, right?
Yeah.
Who was watching this happen as it was happening? Because it made me think it's Takashi. And I'm like, I think Takashi robbed us of watching the Tiger King unfold in real time. Like, and hip hop's garbage for that. Like, because this kid, like, this was way better. Like,
I feel like it was also him living in like Oklahoma, or that was messing a lot of that up because like all those middle of the country states, like we kind of just.
But it's internet though.
It is the internet, and
you wouldn't have known that watching it.
And he was doing a whole internet show, and he was doing different posts, but I guess he just never blew up the way that.
But I wonder like how many views he was getting, because like people knew who these people were if you were looking for tigers, right? So like, you know, I feel like there's a short list of names that would come up if you're like, I need a tiger for whatever purpose, and you know, like Shaq bought a tiger from Joe Exotic or two.
And I'd heard of Joe Exotic before. I just never knew who he was. I could recognize him.
Yeah, and even the doc, he was on like late shows and stuff. You know what I'm saying? He was on like Letterman. I think they showed the clip.
Yeah.
So they're out here, and if a guy, and she had an internet show, and I don't know if at one point I felt like I either saw a YouTube like one of the plaques, maybe not, but I feel like I saw that, or something like made me think that she was getting numbers to the point where at least someone knew this was happening. I had never heard anything about this
She
before the
was
documentary.
she was doing crazy numbers, but she was doing those crazy numbers because she started so early. She was one of those early YouTuber doctors.
I mean, that's fair, but like,
I don't
I just
know.
want to know who's watching
Yeah, that's really interesting, and I mean,
because both of them seem like they're early on it.
yeah, they were both pretty early. I don't know how long it took Joe Exotic to actually like get his role in this much because if you catch it with the app at the beginning, it's
Yeah,
hell.
'cause I was just wondering if it was like a Alex Jones situation, as in this whole thing is happening, but if you're not in it, like you could have no idea. But then as soon as you see it, you're just like, oh shit, there's a whole lot of people over here watching this. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's a big thing already. But like, what if it was like that, or I don't know.
I feel like it was like that because
or who? How many people? Like, if they're to make this, if this documentary was about like Takashi, like when Takashi documentary comes out, if and when, we're gonna be like, oh shit, I want to see this, and I want to see all this shit recounted, and you're gonna find some new stuff that you didn't know happened, but you're gonna be like, oh, I remember this, or I remember when. Who was watching Tiger King? Like, oh shit, I remember when. Oh, that video was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, because whoever was watching that was like losing their
people
shit.
in Texas.
People in Texas.
Yeah, because if you remember Joe Exotic, at one point Joe Exotic's explaining that in Oklahoma where they're doing a lot of their services, their main audience, the main people coming to them and enjoying his stuff are from Texas.
Yeah.
And I'd assume with that, since they were seeing him up close, they would then watch his shows, listen to his music
on the road,
and see the downfall.
And maybe the fact that she cut his road shit cut out a lot of his nationwide reach.
For sure.
Because that map that they're kind of pointing, I think it reached pretty far reaching, but like it was a lot up the Midwest, like right at that Tornado Alley lane. And like, and you're right. Yeah, if you're on the road, it's the same as like an artist, like a music artist. Go do the concerts, and go listen to shit. Like, you just gotta touch those people. He didn't get that opportunity, or it got taken away.
Yeah, and you gotta appreciate how hard he was going.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, he was going so hard, I felt like it should have came across the radar, like there should have been like a beep on the, a blip.
Or maybe country music listeners too, because he was dropping a lot of tracks.
Music. The music was so crazy. I was like, I was so curious. I kind of want to go listen to like an album because I want to know if he ever gets out of the Tiger bag. Because I'm like, he's Tiger centric, and I get it. You're gonna be that. You have all the tigers. You have like 200 tigers. I'm gonna sing about tigers too. I get that. But if you ever stepped out of that bag, what does that even sound like? I want to hear
Baskins.
Huh?
Carol Baskins.
Well, alright, that's yeah.
He hated that woman. I want her so much good reason.
Yeah, that was a whole nother. He had two genres of music, Tigers and Carol. That's gross. But like, I want to hear a Joe Exotic love song. I want to hear the Joe Exotic dance song.
I think one of those songs on Tiger King was dedicated to his. I think there was one that was dedicated to his love for Travis, the husband that had died and got the monument. And I think there was also another one for. I think his name was John, the one that was never gay and got the girl pregnant.
Yeah, somehow that one just slipped back in there because Tigers, Carol, and gay love songs. Like, because they're just this is a one of a kind, guys. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I felt. I understood. Like, he did bad. There was a lot of wrong that happened, but someone should have pleaded insanity. Like, because this man like literally devolve. Like at the beginning, this was a well-meaning, put-together person,
Yeah.
and he just kept being, I mean, getting himself in these situations, and then like his villain was winning the entire time. Like, and she was pretty relentless. Like it seemed like he was going maybe too hard, but like she kept her fucking foot on his neck the whole time,
Yeah.
really affecting his livelihood. And then like the Waco shit happened, like just kind of seemed like it fucked with him a little bit, and then that was just the killing of all the police officers. But then there's also the guy that had tiger in his house or tigers in his house, and they just let him go and like committed suicide and then let all his tigers free. And I think it's like Indiana or somewhere. Might that might be wrong state, but so it was like that was happening as well. Just that had nothing to do with him, but just in the news. So it was just like people are looking at tiger owners a little more, and he's already in his mind where he's like, I have guns too. Don't get it fucked up. Like he's coming for my tigers. He's willing to take that stand. So it was just yeah. I felt bad for him. Yeah, I felt bad for him.
I felt bad for him a
And Carol
lot
needs to go to
to jail.
jail. Or yeah, see the husband thing, like she probably killed him. But even beyond that, to like things you can actually prove, I don't think she did things illegal, but like it was fucked up. And so, or someone needs to check her stance. I
Yeah.
guess more if anything else, because she shouldn't be able to. She shouldn't be able to come from her point of view that she comes from. It should be attacked like actually, not because that's the thing. Like Joe Exotic always got personal, but like he had a point. At least when it came to her in like living on the tiger sanctuary and actively fighting against people not having being able to own tigers, but kind of having a setup where she can own tigers, um, and then also having the worst conditions while attacking people for having bad conditions while they were better than hers. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it was a lot.
And she showed another lesson in how powerful that social media presence is. Social media is more powerful than it's more powerful than the pen now.
That's what I'm saying. I don't see how he couldn't have won that. Like, what I want to know what platforms he was on. Was he on the gram? Like,
Well,
was he?
I mean, well, that's too far forward. We don't know at that point,
I
but
don't think it was that long ago. That's when.
no. But the problem that I'm saying is that she started on YouTube, like, and anyone that like gets YouTube early, that view number.
But they didn't start. I feel like they started around the same time though. That's my whole thing. Like,
No, she had her social media
was
already. She already had a humongous following
by the time
before
he
he
started. That's
he started at watching how much power she got through it. He was like, I need to match that because
that's kind of surprising because like his TV show came after him watching. Huh. That's surprising.
well, he already wanted the TV show, but for one, I mean, he had the online show. He had the
Yeah.
online show on his website,
Right.
and
So you just never tied anything else into that.
yeah.
Oh, so it's it's a shame one.
And she was doing like even more than YouTube. I think she was doing her own website like Joe Exotic had, and just she had that for a longer time back because
And then she had like actual people on her side, like she had PETA, and she was like actively lobbying with like the politicians and shit.
yeah.
But he kind of was too, just going up and letting them pet tigers.
Yeah.
And take pictures with them. He was smart in that.
The problem was that she was proactive and he was kind of always reacting to what she was doing.
Well, in that one, she said he actually got ahead of her because she was like, we look stupid, or like they're like, yeah, we hear you, and they might agree with what I'm saying, but like just like the week or whatever before, they were up there petting baby tigers and taking pictures with them. And so it was like, well, I'm gonna look crazy coming against this. Like someone's gonna pull the pit, like so they can't. So he was able to get in a couple of those places before then. But that was after she had already, taken pieces off his board. So yeah, in as a whole, it was definitely reactionary. But like he was able to get a couple minor victories.
For sure. And I just would wish that he would have been able to get more reach because he had great points.
So I'm saying he could have killed the whole Takashi could not might not have had a lane if he would have done this right. I'm telling you, dude, this was one of the greatest stories you never got to watch. Like,
Yeah.
and he was asking everyone to watch. Like, all he wanted to do was be watched.
Yeah, and I don't know how it worked with the release of that
He needed
the show they were filming.
he needed the wrong community. He needed to put out a trap anthem. That's what he needed. He needed the 808s. He needed Lil Nas X to pet a tiger. Maybe it all came too late.
Yeah.
But even when Miley Cyrus got with Mike Will made it, he should have changed the tide. Because if he would have wrote with hip hop, he might have still gone to jail. No, he probably wouldn't have gone to jail. He probably would have been able to find a better hitman. No, regardless, I think he would have felt better because he should have. There's no reason he should have had French Montana with his pet monkey riding or next to his tigers. There should be that should be a picture. Like he should have been ingratiated with hip hop because he has tigers.
Yeah.
He doesn't want a tiger on the album cover.
And that kind of, I feel like that, like redneck. He had an attachment to that redneck.
That's what I'm saying. They
part kind of
they didn't give him enough love. That's not, you know what I'm saying? He could have got love. I think we would have gave him love, and we would have made his music better, like de facto. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that would have happened just by osmosis. But like above that though, he would have had some more pull. I think when these things kind of came about now and with better relationships, maybe wouldn't have evolved the way he did as well. Because he would have been getting like actual fame and shit. Like he would have been getting the recognition. So even though she's still attacking, he would have more leverage. He would just have more leverage.
Yeah. And I feel like he was doing the music for the reach.
Oh yeah.
But it was just the wrong genre.
Well, yeah, and they're all about tigers as well, man. Even if I'm like in the country, I don't know if I want to hear the Tiger EP. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a weird. It's very specific. But I don't know who. He's really making music. Dude, he's so hip hop, dude.
No, his personality is hip hop.
He's making music for his boys, dude. This is for the squad, son. If my set likes it, it jumps. That's Joe Exotic. Dude, he was making music for the set. He's like, this is for us.
It really was a trap house. It really was a trap house.
It really was, man.
And it was all goons.
Dude, we missed one.
Meth-headed goons.
We just needed Damn, it was like Oklahoma. Yeah, it was that fucked. If it was in Texas, it would have been better. You need to be in Houston, or at least Austin would have been crazy. Actually,
if he would have been just,
I don't know how Austin works.
If he would have just been more city, like that, I feel like that took.
You need that space though, and I feel like there's a huge struggle I think that comes with that. But yeah, I agree.
There is, but like
if you can do it
in his own case, that would have pushed him so much further immediately, just because of the fact that like you could have it in Oklahoma, your location doesn't matter, but if you're getting at the city, you're making sure that these people know you there, and making that an important thing. You're able to hit bigger numbers. Like he's not in a populated place.
It's interesting though. Because I agree. That's a good head start, I feel like. But with the complications and the extra expense that comes with it, I see how you might not be able to do it. But I would take the guy from Myrtle Beach's approach. Well, at least what he wants to do in Vision is make it a destination. And if you're able, if you, because like think about 200 tigers, because it even like made me kind of not mad, but I was like, they're not thinking, or maybe this isn't. I don't know how you do this for fucking tigers in America, but like when they at the very end where the new scumbag owner wanted to make the new zoo like near the border or whatever, and they got all the space, and I was like, well, the best experience you could do is a safari, right? People literally go across the ocean, and like Disney created a whole another park just dedicated to safari. If you have 200 tigers, and you can just have them out in a kind of roaming space where it's safe for everyone. Put up some fucking gates like Jurassic Park, you know what I'm saying? But then have like a lane where people can drive through in like your Jeep and see shit. Like I feel like that's something people can come in for, especially. And he was already doing like close interactions, like you're with the tiger, you have a tiger in your fucking hand and shit. Like
Yeah.
so you already had that. So if you had a mix of that with like a safari, people might fly to you, and then you're in the middle of the country, so you're in between the coasts, like so you're kind of you can appeal to everyone. South New York, Bay, like L.A.
And then you could actually keep the tigers, because that was something that also became a problem for a lot of them. They couldn't keep the tiger past, I think they said 17 or 12 weeks. But once they got to that age, it's basically like, I'm a grown tiger. You're not going to say anything.
Well, yeah, and that's just like for personal people, though, right? 'Cause, I mean, but if you're like a zoo or a
exactly. If they would have had that safari type, they could have just let that tiger grow.
Exactly. So I mean, like and I don't know, you'd have to watch breeding and shit like that because you don't want to overpopulate for your space. Got to keep that right.
What exactly is euthanasia? That's just
euthanasia is killing the thing.
Okay.
Or well, it's euthanasia is different than murder in the fact that you're putting it down because it's like sick or something. So that's why I feel like if you're old, like 90 years old, and your body's hurting, you're just like, oh, I'm still waking up every day. I'm not excited about it. I just wish to die. Like, it's illegal, but like, that's where that would come from. Like, or like if your dog is sick, put it down to euthanasia.
Because they were doing that with the tigers too.
Yeah, and like I get that in like maybe like super sickness in cases. I don't know. That's not outside the realm of things that people with animals do. You don't do it for no reason. But like if a horse breaks a leg, kind of shit, like they kill it because it's not gonna heal. Um, and yeah, I mean, yeah. There's I guess a time and a place. It should just be like super last resort, but it comes from just not letting the animal suffer, and it's not gonna get better. It should be dying. Um, but I don't really. I'm either way on it. Really, I guess I get it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they could have just done things better, but they were working with what they had, and I mean.
Oh yeah,
Joe Exotic, like he really teaches you a lot about just putting in that work mixed with meth, and then I feel like his life was a big example of you shouldn't buy your company.
You shouldn't buy your company.
Yeah, because like his husbands, both of them were bought.
You shouldn't buy your company,
yeah.
like people around you.
Yeah.
I thought okay.
It was a big lesson in that because like the first husband, he both husbands, I don't know what we're talking about. They were never gay. clearly never gay. They both said it on the thing.
Yeah, so that was the problem. He was just in the wrong place. Again, he needed just gay people. Like gay people would have fucked with him.
Yeah.
He just needed gay people. There's no gay people where they were, and the gay people aren't happy about. They leave. They're in Oklahoma. Or they're just staying in that closet. And they're just like, well, I'm just never opening that door. But
yeah, and
it's I don't.
He was a brave motherfucker.
He needed grinder.
He was a brave motherfucker too. Like,
oh yeah.
Because he was waving he was waving all middle fingers in the face of everything.
He really embraced who he was. This is what I'm saying. I respect him. I just wish he was guided better. Because I don't. At no point. Well, let's say at no point did he come from a bad place, but he clearly did at some points. But that shouldn't have got that serious, and he should have been able to fight that fight better and differently in a more healthy way to actually get his point across. But yeah, I just feel bad. I just ended up feeling bad for him.
Yeah,
because he got put up against so many walls.
Yeah, and I really wish he would have stayed with like his original manager. He would have stayed with because he had that first solid manager that had no legs.
Oh yeah,
that dude was all there for him.
Yeah,
he was heartbroken. He was more heartbroken at the end than any of the other dudes.
Yeah. No, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like everything just evolved. Like all his relationships with everyone there. Like and all those people have been there from the beginning, but yeah, he just got lost sight. He got lost in the sauce, as it were. It's a damn good story, but I hope he gets out of jail early.
The story of a fired mullet and a whole lot of tigers.
Yeah, man. But I guess speaking of music, speaking of new Drizzy, Drake, Tootsie Slide. For your quarantine times.
It's not weird.
Not with the slide.
No.
When
I first heard it, I heard Soulja Boy's voice in the background.
Drake. It's cold. Drake. Even though he's trying to outdo Yule or Soulja Boy tell him, crank that.
But you can't outcrank that.
But do you think? Because this made me think. Because I was like, all right, Drake's now just trying to make all the types of songs, right?
For sure.
I'm really looking forward to the Drake Christmas song, or if he does a whole album. But he's definitely gonna take a shot at Christmas, because if you win that one, that's the forever bag. That's the Mariah Carey every December. I make $1 million, and it's great. And your song's #1 every year. Like that's a hard bag to win. It's hard. The greats have tried. Not many stick. There's a birthday song. He took the worst swing I've ever heard at music to the birthday song on a Scorpion. Or it sounded like he did.
Which one?
Damn, what's that song? Birthday. It's called like Birthday something. On Scorpion. It's bad.
It has to be because I don't even remember it.
Like Ratchet Birthday or something like that.
Happy Birthday.
Yeah, that shit was awful. Like just dog shit. That pissed me off. Was it Worse Than Preach?
2 Chainz won the birthday one.
Oh yeah. See, they got in there. 2 Chainz and Kanye. Kanye's on that song. But yeah, no, he got in there. I feel like that one rings off. And before that, you had 50 Cent in the club, and he only mentions him at the very beginning, but it's enough, and it works because we don't give a fuck that it's your birthday. It's amazing. He does that. But before that, in case I'm forgetting, it's Stevie Wonder, and then the OG song. Like that's 4. Like you know what I'm saying? And birthdays come every day. If you win that, that's all the time. Every day you play in the club and it matters. You know what I'm saying? Someone's like, ah! Because they came out because it's their birthday. You know what I'm saying? Back when clubs were a thing, of course. But you know what I'm saying? So, like, I so I feel like now we're watching him swing at the different, because Drake's already been like going through metamorphosis, just kind of trying new stuff, and once it started working, I think he was just like, let's just try to make all the songs. So I feel like he's trying to, it's like in collecting Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
He's going for the gauntlet, and this is another swing at it. So this is his Electric Slide, his Cupid Shuffle, his
But it was
Step in the Name of Love.
so trash.
That's arguable. I like it.
I get it for the TikTok, like, because that's what it felt like to me. It felt like a TikTok song. Like it was made for you to get on TikTok and do the dance. And then I see the guy on the news do it. I'm like, yeah, that's a TikTok dance.
Well, you heard Cupid Shuffle?
I've not heard no music for it. I've only heard of it by name.
You've never heard the Cupid Shuffle?
No.
You heard the Electric Slide?
No, I've only heard of these by name.
You've never heard of, you've never been to a barbecue? Like, I don't understand. A skating ring? A black gathering, like outside with music.
Yeah, but there was
None of these songs. Yeah, but these, how, with no older people? There were no, like, adults? Like, I don't understand.
If everybody was grown, then it wasn't. It was like just some R&B or jazz playing. It wasn't like. It wasn't that. I don't know. But I gotta admit, I wasn't around regular people, and I'm realizing that more and more.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, this is a cookout song to me. Okay. I mean, it was definitely gonna work on TikTok, but it's a cookout song. This is you can play this for all ages. I have to listen to the lyrics, I guess, again, make sure it's.
I feel like Lil Duval hits this bag a little better.
No, it's a winner, but it's not a dance. Like, it's like Crank That's a dance song. There's a dance that's attached to it. Electric Slide, there's a dance attached to it. Cupid Shuffle, the whole song are dance instructions. It's a whole lane of music to me. Like, there's a lot. I'm blanking on. There's more. Like R. Kelly's "Step in the Name of Love," huh?
Jerkin, Dougie.
You've heard that? Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a whole.
But that was the kind of stuff that I was playing when I was coming up at these cookouts and shit.
Yeah, but I'm saying, I guess it's always been a thing, and it's just always a thing. Like,
it's definitely a thing, but there's levels, and I guess I haven't been exposed to enough of them, so maybe this Electric Shuffle is worse.
You've heard "Step in the Name of Love."
I've heard "Step in the Name of Love." That's
R. Kelly. Step. It's a dance.
I've never seen the dance though.
But you understand that he's singing dance words, like you can imagine like you just have to follow what he's saying. It's literally just saying instructions to, and if you do said things, you will be dancing.
Yeah. Do you think
it's a line dance?
Do you think that? How would you compare Tootsie Slide to Jerkin or to Jerkin? Or Crank That.
See, these come with time. These need time. They're because Crank That's a classic song to me, like legendary. I'd hold it against like Highway to Heaven and shit. But that's because I attach it to like it's played in like stadiums, like in from UGA. We had a big blackout game. It was like first time we did it. My freshman or sophomore year, and the whole crowd wore black. The team wore black. We were going against LSU. It was a big game for every reason, and or maybe Florida, whatever, one of these schools, and so yeah, the whole atmosphere, everyone's going crazy, whatever. We're run up score. We're putting down a smackdown by the second half. Crank That comes on, right? the whole our whole team on the sideline is going crazy. They're all just dancing like everyone's fucking cranking that. So then everyone in the stadium is cranking the Soldier Boy. Like 100,000 people. Like you, that shit is electrifying. Like
I can see that.
you can't take that away from me.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't. So you can argue whatever you want. I have that. Like, and for all of those songs that besides Name of Name, like it goes back to like a family reunion or like a family cookout. Like it's memories get attached to it. You know what I'm saying? Beyond like a viral thing. You know, I don't think you'd have that same attachment even if you did the dance. Maybe you like the initial rush of oh shit, this many people watched it, but it's fleeting from like you know when a song comes on and you start smelling food. You know what I'm saying? Or you seeing faces and smelling grass outside.
I guess the reason I feel like the Tushi Slide doesn't compare to these other dances is because I don't feel like it has the energy behind it.
What energy? It's perfect energy for it. Like,
I don't feel like it is.
you haven't heard any of these other bands. Like it's concerning.
Or against a lot of the more recent ones we've had. Like,
well, I mean, but like there's like the kid ones and there's like the it's for adults. He's Drake's a man. Like how old is Drake? It was
that's. I didn't feel like Drake as a grown man belonged doing no dance like that. That's kind of where this goes.
R. Kelly did it, so like what?
R. Kelly did the same dance?
He did Step in the Name of Love as a grown man. Like what?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like
love is Step in the Name of Love.
That it's the same thing. It's like it's the same. This one's more melodic and one's. I mean,
one is literally look like a penguin dance routine. It looked like Happy Feet when I was watching Tootsie Slide.
that's because Drake dances crazy. Like people are gonna do it way better.
Yeah, hopefully.
And he didn't do it great. You're putting too much on it. Like you hate him. And this is not. It's not better than any of the other dances.
That man looked like a grown penguin or a grown dolphin with a ski mask on.
Dude, if you pulled up like TikTok right now, you can see the same dance being hit like crazy.
Oh, it's
hard.
It's doing all the numbers.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, no, I'm saying it would actually look tight. Like,
I guess I gotta look more.
Like, I want to see the Jabberwockies do it. It's gonna look tight.
Yeah, I don't know who's gonna make it look tight. They just
so many people. They're gonna do it.
Especially
it's being done.
I've seen a few on Instagram. I've seen the newscaster do it.
You've seen corny people do like that's what I'm saying. Like you can't you're judging through a lens. But like
if Drake's supposed to be who's gonna make the dance hard? Like I guess
everybody the kids
Drake didn't make the dance hard. And I mean,
it was supposed to be hard. It's not a hard song. Nothing about this is supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be. It's for everybody. It's so like you dance to this with your grandma because she can do the dance. Like you're not trying to like it's a cookout song. It's for like you and your mom to like dance to because she's not like trying to learn all the steps. She's not trying to like you know what I'm saying like it's just slide. It's really I feel like in the lineage of what it's going for. I feel like you know it.
I guess I can boil it down to one part. When your leg comes up like 90 degrees over here, that's the penguin move. That's where it stopped for me. The slide, and I was all about it.
See, this comes from the fun police to even begin with.
Oh, for sure.
When are you hitting the jig?
I was jerking, I was ducking, I was cranking, I was enjoying it. I didn't hear no electric slide, no step in the name of love. I never saw that dance, but that was before what I was doing.
I think out of most of Drake's catalog, this one could potentially age the best.
the best. Dear God.
The best.
I don't
The
know.
song can outlive us all.
Maybe, I don't know, man. This was that song.
Black leather gloves, no sequins. Who I don't even know what that means. Why it's black leather gloves, but like it's not really anything to me. But like it's tight. I don't know why it sounds so tight. Like
Nah, Drake's dope.
it's like Michael Jackson. Sorry, man. It's tight.
That song was an hit for me.
I was sold.
I understand. Yeah, that was that song where I felt like I felt like it was that. No, it wasn't me. It was like a. It's okay to say you don't like the song.
I mean, it is, but like, I think it's one. It's not. It didn't get stuck in your head at all.
No.
I haven't had it out of my head for like 2
Yeah.
days.
It wasn't impactful to me. It was and the dance wasn't dope. I really feel like a hater because I'm like digging in the bag with it, but it didn't do it for me. And I mean I all love for the people that are enjoying it. You do you.
It's gonna be like 5 months later. You're just gonna be like in the kitchen, just sliding for no reason. I can almost guarantee it. Like,
I can guarantee the opposite.
nah, this is it.
And I don't even have to try. That's the crazy. Like it's not gonna be like, oh, I'm never gonna listen to the song again. Like I can hear the song on repeat and walk away.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm going to bet on it, but regardless of that, like Drake's dropping a lot of music.
Drake speeding up, yeah, it's getting there.
Like what is?
Album.
But I'm saying who drops? This is a lot of singles. This one he dropped 2 at one time. The Jay-Z Eminem flips. There was another one, right? I feel like there's another drop in like War came out.
I don't know what came before War.
I feel like something came after it and before it. But it's been a lot.
Yeah, no.
It's been a lot of drops.
Yeah, going for it.
But I'm saying who does that before an album? Like that's like an album's worth of. That's like a half an album worth of singles. Put out beforehand. Like who?
I think he started to realize he's just a hit maker.
You think he just realized he's a hit maker?
I feel like he's finally getting in the bag of it because he's like, I don't even need to drop the album. I keep dropping singles till the album's done.
But I mean, like, to what? It's weird though. No one does that.
Wow, that'd be crazy. That'd be a crazy album. Album full of singles.
I would be wildly excited if it's not gonna happen, but whenever this album drops, if none of these songs are on the album,
I'd like that.
That'd be incredible. Especially with bangs, because it'd just be like, what's happening? I think it would throw everyone off crazy. You're not gonna do it just because you get a head start with the numbers, put the single on there because those count. But it would be the ultimate. It'd be some real Beatles shit because none of their singles were on the actual albums. And it'd be some bullshit. He's dropped so many.
He might even be going for that kind of an approach, right? You can't tell with Drake right now.
Yeah, and they're not dropping. Like all these songs, I don't think are even available on iTunes. Like Tootsie Slide is, but I don't think those 2-pack. I don't think those songs are out. I think it's only in the video form.
Is that right?
I might be mistaken, but I think I checked and they weren't there. I feel like I'm missing a song too. There's something else, I think.
There's that When to Say When, War, Tootsie Slide.
Maybe not. Yeah. He's loading up for something. I'm here for it.
The future track.
That's what it was.
Future.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was a future track.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one, it grew on me actually. The first time I heard it, I was like, eh. By like the fourth, I was like, alright,
Yeah.
this works. That transition just felt so lazy to me.
Transition from Drake to the future.
Yeah, just like, okay.
Yeah.
You couldn't come up with something here? Like, sicko mode already happened. We've heard awesome transitions. Like, yeah, so like, you can't go from that to just future mumbling. Yeah, yeah, like, it's good. What are you doing? Like,
yeah, but that's a future. That's a future classic move.
it's not though. Future doesn't do that on songs. I've never heard him do that.
I heard him do it on other people's.
I'd have to hear it. I've never heard him come in that way.
Yeah, because like I feel like I've even heard him start a song just.
He's not even like a. I mean, he did it on like Kendrick's, like where the beat kind of switched form, but he's not even like a beat switching feature. Like there's some people that come on and like the beat switches form like almost every time. There's someone really that does that all the time. I'm blanking on it completely. But like every time they come on a single, the beat changes, and it's just like Juicy J's like that.
Juicy J.
A lot of times you'll come on and the beat like will drop out or it'll like switch up a little bit. Someone does it more, um, but regardless,
I think that's a really interesting thing
mm-hmm.
because different rappers have different things that they'll have the beat switch to for their verse. Like when I had realized that on Drake's verses, when they get to his part of the beat, they cut off the high sounds and just keep that cold kind of beat to it. When I started to notice that, I was kind of freaking out.
Let you know the snow's here.
Yeah, like on No Complaints, you got you start off with Offset, beats jumping, and then Drake comes in and it all just.
Yeah.
Here we are in Woodson.
You gotta hear this. Yeah. Damn. There's a couple people. Even like Rick Ross doesn't go so much for the beat switching, but I just love how he always has his own tag with him. That's one of the reasons I respected the baby when he came out, because I thought that was going to be like a thing he did, but he didn't do it. That's a mistake. Like on his first, I don't know if his first mixtape, but the I don't know, it's like a blue background. They're all like different color backgrounds, but like the blue one, he had that drop in there, and it was a rapper drop. It's like it's not the baby, it's my baby or whatever. It was like some lady saying it, and it would come on like at the end, and I was just like, oh, that's smart, because no one else does that except for Rick Ross. No other rapper has like their own drop. It's always you get the producer drops on it. But like wherever Rick Ross is on like a song, you hear that Maybach music, and it always like funks differently. It either starts it off, or you even like come in at the end of like the other person's verse to like tease that he's even coming. Like it's always done tight. And I thought the baby was gonna be the next up to Lineage, but he didn't bring it back on his main album. So I was like, that's it. And on the features he does, it doesn't happen. So Rick Ross stands alone.
Yeah, but Rick Ross is also like a master of subtlety.
Yeah.
He's
he's really good. He doesn't get enough credit for everything he does. He's one of the ones out here really rapping, like always. His him is vicious, and his beats are always lush.
How do you like French Montana?
It's not good. Not I like him. I like him on features sometimes. That's really as much as that goes. Yeah.
Is it something about him sound generic to you?
No. he's been there long enough where he just is French. And people, he kind of sounds like other people, and other people kind of start to sound like him. But I just wish he was better at the rapping, I guess. Like he's never stood. I've never been like, oh, that was hard. Like it's never happened. Like he's never hit me with a bar. Um, and he gets on tracks with like people that bar it down, so it's confusing. And everyone I just feel like French has to be an awesome person. Like, for real, like he must be a blast to chill with.
The
Like
most well loved rapper.
yeah, and I'm not even saying that to be salty or what. It sounds my tone doesn't match my words, but I don't. He must really be awesome though. Like just he has to be because I don't understand how we've even gotten here beyond the fact that he was doing it. He's vibing.
Yeah, he puts in the work.
Yeah, he was doing mixtapes early. He was an early adopter. He got in early. He got around rappers that blew up, and he kept putting songs and things pop. You know what I'm saying? And he has good songs with good people, but like I'm not running to the next mac and cheese. I guess.
I've only listened to his Jungle album, and in that one there were a few songs that I liked, but a lot of the time when I listen to him, I don't know if I won't even use the word generic, but it's something about him that's not popping or unique enough.
Nothing sticks.
Yeah.
There's nothing there. There's no substance. It's a lot of filler.
Doesn't have the star factor.
Yeah. Well, I think he has the star factor. He doesn't have the star ability. I feel like the star factor is the only thing that keeps. That's why we know French Montana.
Okay.
He looks like a star. Like you see him, just like shh. He looks like he's really good at what he does. Then you hear this, like, okay, well, okay, I don't understand. Really, it's kind of confusing. And I don't know. Like he has moments. That's as much as I can give him. Because I don't want to trash the whole thing completely. Because like, I do like what I like from him. It's not a lot, and I'm not excited. I'm never looking for the next release. Why are we talking about French Montana?
I don't really know how we got here.
You just brought up French Montana Cole. There's no how we get here. This one I remember because it came out of nowhere.
Well, we were talking about Rick Ross, that's why. And,
okay.
And Rick Ross has featured a good number of times with French.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I like their joints together, but French never really does it for me.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Like I don't know, let's say Migos, NBA Youngboy. Like
I still haven't really heard enough from him.
I've heard enough from him, but I've heard enough to know that something about him hits me just enough. He's crazy enough. I'm not a fan. I might become one, but he has that. He has the crazy thing. French, I don't know what he's bringing.
See, I wish his NBA Youngboy. I gotta listen to him, I guess, at all. I've heard his name. His name sucks, right? Does that ring off okay to you? Like NBA Youngboy, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, his name sucks.
Like it's like that's a bad start. That's at least what French Montana is hard. Like that sounds like someone that's gonna come dressed in all black with sunglasses and should have like someone in a trench coat, like tough. That's a French Montana. You know what I'm saying? See, French Montana swags in all the right places, and he has to be a lovable, absolutely amazing human being. Like he just has to be. Like I feel like he's a pleasure
Best
to be around.
personality.
Like an immaculate host. Like you go to French Montana's house. I bet you're comfortable as fuck. And he's making sure you're comfortable. He has like Gucci slippers for guests. Like French Montana seems like just he would be an amazing person. Like yeah, Every time he gets up, do you need something? You good? I feel like it's French.
That's Drake. That's the scary thing.
Huh?
That's Drake. That's the scary thing.
Nah. See, I think Drake wants you to think that's who he would be. I don't think he was a fuck. Like,
I don't.
you know what I'm saying? I think he's.
I say that because
Yeah.
I feel like actually it was Andrew Schultz. He was talking about how and maybe he may be wrong too, but he was saying Drake's the type of dude he makes you feel great about yourself and things like that, even though he's in the stars.
Oh yeah, I get that. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he still is making you feel like you're the shit.
Yeah, I see what you're doing. I love it. Yeah. Yeah, you keep doing it. Yeah. 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 He probably people probably hate it too.
Probably comes off patronizing.
Every time though, suck. Like maybe because he says that bar was like half a bar. Like I bring in money, they change the topic. Uh, Maybe it's just because he's so nice about it. It's uncomfortable. He's just like, no, I want to talk about it. Though. He's like, no, it's cool. I'm doing fine. I'm alright.
Going back to the
Because
house.
like it's that reminds me of like Reggie Miller versus like Cheryl Miller, his sister. Like you know Reggie Miller, basketball player, played for Indiana Pacers, legend of the game. But Cheryl Miller was like the best WNBA player of all time, and she's like a beast. And so she would whoop his ass daily on the basketball court coming up, like all the time. She was like she beat everybody. Like everybody who played in the neighborhood, she's whooping ass throughout. And so like one day, they both had basketball games, like in uh, it's her, the father, and he picks him up. He's like, oh man, I was like, how'd you have a good game? He's like, yeah, I had a great game. He's ready to stunt. He's like, yeah, how'd you? He's like, yeah, man, I put down 40. He's like, 40? Oh man, that's amazing. She's like, oh, that's so great. He's like, yeah, I killed it. It's like, not gonna beat the. She's like, oh, that's great. And he's like, all right, how'd your game go? And she's like, yeah. She put up 101 points. Like, he's like, what the fuck? It's not real. He's just like, and I feel like that's how it is talking to Drake about anything. Like, it's like, yeah, man, it's awesome. Just sold out my first big stage, like big tour. You know what I'm saying? Got 1,500 people in attendance, sold out, doing things. You know, how was your tour? Yeah, well, I was doing stadiums, 50,000 a night. Sometimes we had to do two shows, couldn't get everybody in one time. This is light work. We'll do it again next year.
How to take the private jet, you know.
Yeah, you know how you sound. Like, you know, like, so, like, yeah, talking to him would get kind of crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like that must be a struggle for most rappers and stuff dealing with like regular people because you stunt professionally, but you kind of have to take the stunt back a little.
Well, yeah, you can't sell your family.
Yeah, and I mean like I think I thought I don't know who Meek Mill was talking to. It was like Meek Mill and someone else. They were talking about like the burdens of being a rapper in that they're taking care of their whole family a lot of the time.
Yeah, but that's really. I mean, rappers they do everything visually, so it's just that. But like that's really will be the case for anyone that just wins hard financially. Like if down to lottery or if you were on Wall Street and just ran it up, like in any scenario, your first reaction is kind of take care of the people. That'd be fucked up. Like that's not even fun. That's like I don't even say I can sleep because I feel like people will always be after you. Like you get like super rich and leave everybody. Like your mom doesn't get a call. Like you're a piece of shit. and then she come after you, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
For
so
sure, but
it's for peace of mind.
he was like the way they were talking about it, and maybe I'm remembering it wrong. They weren't working, and for moms, of course, but big brother,
Yeah,
you ain't working. I'm paying the bills,
yeah, I get. No, kind of as what he was doing before, and
and at one point they were saying like, I want to help you, but I don't want to carry you.
yeah, I mean, I get that. That's for sure. Uh, but I'd also give my brother something. Like, I wouldn't leave him fucked up. But also, I think your first mode would be to try to give him a job. Then I think of like the Kevin Hart thing where he's like, all right, I'd rather just give you the money because a job's a different kind of relationship. Because now you got to be good at the job, and if you just can't be good at the job, it's not beneficial for me to just have you. You know, like I'd rather just give you money with no burden attached to it. Because if you're not good at the thing, now that burden's to me. Like now we've created a whole different problem.
Yeah.
So it matters on the
Either way.
person. Yeah, but like I wouldn't, regardless. Like if I'm like, it goes like how I feel about the world generally. But like in a family ecosystem, you can't be sitting on millions of dollars and your brother, especially any attached family, at the very least, shouldn't be struggling for day to day. Like you can't be a millionaire and your brother doesn't know how he's feeding himself. That's
That's
like unless he beat you up on a daily basis coming up and you're just like, fuck it, fuck him. Like he had to really do something bad. Like you know what I'm saying? Like there has to be some real strange
storyline.
Yeah, like I mean, there has to be a real thing there where it has to be deep. And even if it was, it's probably not as serious unless it is. You know what I'm saying? That's a very case by case basis. But in general, a general rule of normality, no. Like you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
You know, just because you got to.
For sure. And I mean, I'm all for taking care of the family.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm all for the making your own empire. That's the rapper's game.
That's just the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that rappers live lonely lives?
They can. I think it's just individual because like some have whole families, but then you're on the road, so you're away from your family. Um, I thought it was interesting when it was Offset. I think Offset said that in one of his interviews, like maybe Breakfast Club. He said that it's like the road's lonely, and my first thought was, I'm like, you're in a group. Like you are inherently surrounded by people because that's the dynamic. But if that's the case and still feel that way, then that's pretty extreme. You know what I'm saying? Like just to be surrounded by people and be lonely, like that's even if we're still everyone's tight. Like and I get what he's saying, and so yeah, I would say just because you have to stay on the road to an extent, it could be lonely. You should be tight with whoever you're around, but I don't know. That's different, and I feel like different people do deal with it differently.
Yeah.
Some people bring their family on the road, but that's not practical for like, a child. You know what I mean? Like young enough.
Yeah.
And even if you have like a significant other, if they do something, you can't just take months off from them like to go do nothing, just be there, like So
I think about like a lot of the rappers that either died or like crashed terribly, like 6ix9ine. Like 6ix9ine was all by himself. He put himself in that situation, though, obviously.
Yeah, I feel like he's different.
Same thing with like XXX Tentacion.
Yeah, I think he was like singing about being lonely too. So I mean,
Yeah,
it's on his face.
Little Skies. Like maybe this is like this new depression rap that's starting to get in its bag, but
No, but you
you're
gotta.
starting to see the shade of like the loneliness of this rap life.
No, I don't even think it's rap though. Like it's just
Tour life.
it's tour life, and then life in general can be lonely. But beyond that, because like I think when you say that, I think about the fact that what's her name? Ellie Irish, Billie Irish. How
Yep,
she,
Billie
yeah,
Eilish.
swept the Grammys and shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lonely fucking album. The whole album's about being sad. She won all the awards, and while you listen to it, you're not gonna feel that happy coming out of the album. Like it's she goes with all that. You know what I'm saying? So it's not genre specific, and it's the fact that it was so well received the way it was means it's kind of everybody to an extent. Um, so
She's hitting some heartstrings for sure.
yeah, that's that. But to take that even up a notch, you put a person on tour, isolated from everyone, and not there's no stability. You're always on the move, and it's not necessarily fun. You're always working to an extent. There's no time off, like in that mode. So yeah, I can see there's some isolation that comes from, and you can't really complain to anyone for it because you get to do this. It's a lot of hard work, but it's a privilege to be able to do it, even though you worked hard to position yourself to do it. And the fact that people receive it, like you made something that people like, all that like got you there, but still, all that is a privilege to even be in a position to do, even if you got it out of the mud. You know what I'm saying? Like you were rapping in a rundown apartment, in the fucking closet, and made a trap anthem that millions of people are doing. So that, yeah, you did all that, but just it's a privilege to even be in that situation, to even be, you know what I'm saying? Like it really is. So like, or at least from the outside of, because most people don't get to do what they love to do. That's why people don't like when rappers say they don't like to rap. It's like you get to fucking rap. Like how many people want to rap? Like, and you're here and you don't want to rap. It's the one. It's like when people and I get why, because it's hard. Like I just did an album trying to get people to listen to all this body of work that I've been working on for a year, and you want me to sit down and make another verse that I get to say one time for you and I can't say again? I get it. Like, but you get to do that shit. It's that or work at the fucking like post office. Like what, like you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta hold the perspective of like, yeah, there's a lot demanded, but like you're rewarded for it. Um, and you can lose that perspective day to day, I would think. In anything. Doing anything. Like
Yeah.
that's not rapper specific. It's anyone that gets to do something that's not digging ditches. Or even something they like doing. You know what I'm saying? Like someone that's found a lane doing Legos or, day to day getting a steady paycheck to provide a comfortable life for them and their family. That's everything. You know what I'm saying? Pilots, doctors, even though it can get horrific. You knew it would, but you get to do this because you love this to whatever extent got you into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just some people spend their majority of their time, their adult livelihoods, doing stuff they hate doing for people they don't like to just get by. That's, and you have to even be, in a real global perspective, you're lucky to do that. Because people are fucked up out here. People, like, you know what I'm saying? You could just be sick and not even be able to,
Yeah.
it can get crazy. So that's what I'm saying, like any level of ability, is a privilege.
Perspective reminder is an interesting thing.
It's everything.
It is. It really is
It's a constant
everything.
check.
But it's the constant check that, like that one miss, can mess it all up.
Yeah,
Because it feels like that check, especially the higher level you get, needs to be like always.
and it has to be more constant. Like, where you have to do it more often, I guess.
Yeah.
Because like, yeah,
Like Michael Jackson, I feel like he needed consistent always. Like, yo, we're still a privileged guy out here. Like, yeah, we're the star of stars, but
that's so hard. And who does it for you? Because if you're not doing it yourself, or if you miss it, even if like you have the intention of keeping yourself in check, you're right. You can only miss it once, and that can shatter, and it can perpetuate forward. That's why you need that grounded person, whether it be like family. It's you can argue that's when like Kanye spiraled. When he lost his mom, he lost kind of an anchor. She was one who's like, "Why are you wilding out here on TV?" Like she was that kind of check. That check goes. No one else, everyone else is here to say, "Yeah, be you," because you provide for them out of being you.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, well, if he needs to be crazy, he needs to be crazy, and we'll support that crazy because that crazy
pays the bills.
pays the bills and creates like some beautiful shit. More importantly, pays the bills. Yes, for sure. So, but if the crazy is killing you, you let the crazy continue. Like who's there checking that? And that's not even all Kanye specific. That's really to any creative that provides off of their creativity. You know what I mean? And the the ills and the vices that come along with making that creativity be what it is, if they exist, or whatever you know, whatever personality comes with that, or all of that, good
Yeah,
or bad.
yeah. And I mean, it's a scary thing because even like for regular people, we also need it constantly, but we need a different one. Like,
It's all. I think it's all the same. It's just scales, but yeah, we do because the same thing. The that same feeling or that same lack of perspective is the same perspective that has sidewalks full of people stepping over the homeless person. It's like no one, no one wants to check on this. Like no one wants to. No one cares that this is even a thing. Like you lose perspective on the fact that, or you look at him and just like, I'll get a job, and he's like, yeah, you don't think that's crossed his mind? Maybe. So I feel the same, and sometimes I just have straight up questions. Like, what are you doing? Like, why aren't you getting, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes something like disabled body, I'm just like, it's the sun's up, shit's going, you can get it popping, but if there's a deeper, darker thing there, then, you know, that's not always the case. Some people are like you take everything into account. Sometimes you're right. Yeah, they're a piece of shit and they're just not trying out here. But sometimes like no, they tried and shit. They keep rolling the dice and they just keep getting snake eyes. And some people really roll that way. Some people just aren't able. Like health is real. You know what I mean?
and the importance of thick skin is everything.
Yeah, and I would think you know. I was about to say, I would think this generation coming up would have a thicker skin than even us before, just because you have to deal with social media stuff. But I don't really know if that equates to that. So
I think that the weird thing about like our generation is that we have all the tools, but we don't use them. Like the problem always was a lack of tools. I don't have what I need to make the thing happen, and this is the problem. But like we've gotten to the point where they cut that off. Like you have the resources. What do you want to do?
Yeah, that
And
could be true at any time, though, right?
it could never be more true as now, though.
Oh yeah.
Like even like 300 years ago, and if I remember reading about Alexander Hamilton, self-educated, just went to the library and tore it up. And I mean, that wasn't a popular thing at the time, but
Sure.
he made it work. Eh, that was unique for even then, but the level of it was higher. Like it was, or the level of effort needed was a lot higher. You need to go to the library.
Mm-hmm.
You need to find these books, and then you need to read through them, return them, probably get more to finish all of that, and then write notes, all of that. All that's cut off with the computer. Like some stuff, there's days I'm on YouTube, and I mean, like I was talking about yesterday, I got my PlayStation 3 controller charger,
Mm-hmm.
so I could watch videos and like take notes and stuff as I'm watching it,
Mm-hmm.
and that's already like cutting that off. But and I mean, it kind of motivates me to work harder. But I'll think like, what would motherfuckers in the past have done? Like, they would have grinded that shit out. They grinded it out under way harder circumstances. And here we go. I don't have XYZ random little thing.
Well, that's mixed with a lot of things because first you have to want want to learn, right? Or to want to seek knowledge.
Yeah.
So that happened. You have to have that first because you can put like your encyclopedia in someone's hand doesn't mean they're gonna read it, kind of shit. So we all have the encyclopedia in our hands, so that's that. And then the other part we've talked about before, so we don't have to deep dive for sure. But like there's people putting up excuses just to not start things.
Yeah.
So that part, I don't write that off, but that's like a kind of inherent thing of people being scared. Really, just that's fear at its base.
Do you think that people are becoming more fearful of less, or I guess subjectively less fear-inducing things over time?
Say that again.
Do you think that like each generation are getting scared of less important things? Well, I think the movie was like Idiocracy.
Yeah, I don't think that's that. That was just like the whole. Everyone just got dumber. In the Idiocracy.
Yeah.
I don't think that's that. I don't think those two things.
They aren't the same.
But I do think what we're scared of changes because there's no need to be scared of things that you had to be scared of before, like winter. You know what I'm saying? If you're as long as you're not on the streets, you know, when it first snow doesn't send shivers on your spine because I have heat in-home heating and shit. Plague and Ebola. I'm not worried. Even though it's a weird one to bring up in time of quarantine, but like you know what I'm saying in general, and new stuff comes along. So like we fix old things where some old things aren't scary, but then new shit comes along where it's like, oh, we haven't dealt with this before, so let's figure that out. And then the stuff in between, I think, just replaces something else. Yeah, I think it all. But in general, I think people are becoming less fearful in general, just because of like stuff like this. People are opening up. People are more willing to speak their mind or their opinion on things. People are, you know, the personality shine kind of more just because you're sharing it with people now, and so I think that's kind of breaking that part down. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's fear is just replaced by other stuff. Um, in general, I don't think it's more or less. I think it's even just takes different faces.
Uh-huh.
But Yeah, that's not based on anything. But maybe answer the question.
No, I'm with it. I I guess I also wonder like for the average person because like we have a lot of people that we have the most wealth. Any one person has more wealth and better quality of living than even the best of people had before. But
Okay.
does that make the average person more useless, like less skilled, just
No,
because of it?
no. You're skilled in other things.
You know?
Like you're not skilled in farming because we don't need that many farmers, but you're able to type. I don't know. There weren't people typing before.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I think we just learn other things. It's less physical labor now. It's more intellectual activities. Obviously, more technology based. Less manual. So yeah, everything just transitions into something else. Um, but yeah, we've gotten away from the physical stuff in general for most people. I think the most physical intensive thing that most people have to do is drive, right? And it's not really like intense, but you got to be aware and alert, and you know, you're in a constant on state, or you should be. So
No, driving's the worst.
yeah, maybe like yeah, shoveling snow and stuff for some people, some parts of the year, like. But we've gotten like most people don't have their own farms. Most people, if it gets cold, you're not shoveling coal into something. Yeah, I don't know, what people used to do. But yeah, a lot of things just got replaced.
Well, like
Well, hopefully,
yeah, and I mean the reason I was saying that was because like
or not.
your average person, they were a farmer, but like even their children,
Mm-hmm.
like by the time their children were grown, they knew the whole skill system of that I can do this, and this, and boom, bam, boom.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess like the equivalent right now is like at the most basic level, what would that be? Like
a
a
family
cash
business.
register, and
It'd
I
be a
know how to
family
work a cash register
if
and
your
type.
parents own like a restaurant. You would come up knowing like learning how to run a restaurant because you're just in there
Yeah.
and you just get exposed. So you start on the register, or you start making some food, and so you know all the pieces. And if it's a successful thing, then that'd be something that'd be passed along to you if you wanted it, or even if that's not your choice. Like that's some depending on how that family relationship is. But that's what the equivalent in my mind would be. Because that's just what it is. It's just a farm. Even if you weren't generating outcome back or income back in the day from it,
Mm-hmm.
it was simply to provide for you. That's what you're doing with the business. You're just making money to buy the food. You're just adding an extra step. That's the same goal. So yeah, that's what the equivalent of that is now to me.
Just evolution of the same skills.
Yeah, just building something up to pass along to your kids. It takes a slightly different form now. Um, yeah, so you're not passing down property. Well, you still try to pass down property and money instead of property and animals. You know what I'm saying? Same shit though. And bags of gold. Leave
The
the bag.
coin.
Yeah. So yeah, same shit. But yeah, we've been going.
How long are we at?
About to hit 1:30 right now, so we can
You
wrap
wanna wrap
this.
this up?
Yeah, I think it's good. It's a little lighter.
Yeah.
Wasn't as we dealt back then, but
Everything was lighter than the last
Jesus Christ.
episode.
Yeah, I don't even know if I apologize for the other one, but maybe.
If I didn't, I apologize again because
Yeah.
I know I brought it all.
I didn't want to hear it, but like it happened, and so we posted it.
I don't even know why. I don't even know what possessed me to take it to that level.
It bees like that sometimes. Sometimes you gotta take it there and find out where you are once you're there. peek out the window. So, but yeah, this is another good talk.
Yeah.
It was a good week. I hope everyone's staying safe out there, social distancing, quarantining, learning a new recipe at home.
I'm happy to talk to you again this week.
For sure. But yeah, until next time.
Enjoy yourself. Peace.
Peace out.